ends with these four best friends. The fun never ends with the boys.
With the boys, yeah. Hello, this is the Boys Cold 1 Hour. This is WIUX LP Bloomington. I'm sorry, Billy.
Wait, what?
You're supposed to say it, right?
No, you're supposed to say
Oh,
it.
Yeah, it is
great.
your turn.
Okay,
Yep.
yes. Okay,
Yep.
WIUX LP Bloomington. Jeez, I was going to sound so cool, but I
Yeah,
didn't.
thank you guys for tuning in.
WIUX LP Bloomington.
We take turns saying the intro,
Yeah.
just to clarify.
Yeah, I'm not just freaking out for some reason.
No. Yeah, well, thank you guys for tuning in. We're very excited for another exciting episode.
Yeah.
You know, not
Emergency, new episode.
yeah, emergency new episode. Just a little tease as
Just
to what
a
we're going to
little
talk about.
teaser. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right, well, first, let's just introduce ourselves real quick. I'm Jonathan.
Oh yes, I'm Billy.
And I'm Clay.
Um,
And you're listening to the Boys Cold 1 Hour, in case
Yes.
you weren't listening.
So we have a tradition for any new listeners. When we start the show, please reach into your icebox or refrigerator or freezer and pull out a cold one to drink while you're listening to the show. Any beverage will do. Oh yeah, just crack it open.
Oh, yeah.
Who are those boys on the radio? They've got some cold ones and their own show. So open up your ears, listen to us. Forget your fears, there's no need to fuss, cause the fun never ends with these four best friends. The fun never ends with the boys. With the boys. We're so glad you're listening to the Boys Cold 1 Hour. We've got a great show planned for you today.
Indeed. So to start us out, before we get into our topic, we're going to do the tradition that we do every single week.
Everything's fun.
And that is the Boy Wonder
and
the Boy Blunder.
So to give some background, the Boy Wonder is somebody who did something wonderful that week that deserves recognition.
Mhm.
Whereas the Boy Blunder is somebody who did something terrible that week that deserves humiliation.
Should we go ahead and do the Boy Wonder first?
All right.
We have an extra long Boy Wonder this week, so
Yeah,
A
it's a
very
big envelope.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
huge
really-
envelope.
Let's open it.
come on. And the winner is Moonlight. No, I'm kidding. Do you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, very funny.
So the first winner is Sergey
Sergey
Waxman.
So you may have noticed Sergey did not give an intro when we all said our names at
Yes,
the beginning
very
of the episode.
sad.
Because he is not here with us, actually.
Oof.
He passed on.
He's sick.
No, I'm
is
kidding.
what happened.
Yeah, he is sick. He actually was just here.
Yes, and I mean,
Um,
obviously he's been doing good. You know what I mean? He's been really sick, but he's been
He's
strong
been
in
getting
spirit.
better.
Yeah,
He's
been
been
high
getting
spirits.
better. Yeah.
But the reason why he's Wonder, as Jonathan alluded to, is because even though he's super sick, coughing all the time, miserable, he still came to show us how to use the radio interface, which is super nice of him.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
usually handles a lot of the technical stuff.
You know, you
Oh,
can
all of
imagine-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, all of it, basically.
You should imagine 4 orientations for us and 0 for him. Basically 12 combined orientations with 0
Oh
for
my
Sergey.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, we've learned so many times and we still have no idea, and Sergey entirely doesn't.
We kind of have an idea. We just
Well, we have an
But it
idea
really, no, he really
because
did
he
help a
showed
lot.
us how to do it right now. That's
Yes,
that's why we know.
And thank you. He's probably driving home. I
hey,
hope you're
WIUX,
tuned
take
in.
some pointers. Hire this guy to do orientation. And you
Really?
might not
Yeah,
have some. No, I'm
honestly.
kidding. WIUX is great.
No.
Yeah, amazing. But yeah, so Sergey is the wonder
Yeah,
this
thanks
week.
so much.
Yes. Well, we also have
Get
some-
better soon, too, Sergey.
Yes, please get well.
If
We
you're
also,
listening,
please.
thanks so much.
we also have 3 other names
Oh, really?
in the Boy Wonder folder right here, or envelope.
Uh-oh.
You know, and I'm just doing the math here. There's 3 of us. So the other
that must
Boy
mean-
Wonders
that must
are.
be me, and then, you know.
Yes, it's Jonathan,
And-
Billy, and
and
Clay.
Clay.
So we're-
So after
everyone's
much
a wonder.
contention, we decided about the Wonders.
Yes, we had to talk about who
Yeah.
should be the wonder. And
This was a pretty heated week, to be honest, with the Boy Wonder and the Boy Blunder. We had
we have.
it,
we have a lot
it
of
wasn't
wonders.
quite clear cut this
We
week.
had a
to be
lot to
honest.
pick and
yeah.
also like nothing to pick.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
were proposing wonders, but not many people were doing wonderful things. Like
So-
Okay, really.
The
But
reason-
yeah, actually though.
The reason the 3 of us are wonder is because we all just had very, very busy weeks
yes.
Mhm.
and a lot of homework and a lot of work, and
Yeah.
We
you
all
know,
got it done, though.
we've all
Yeah,
yes.
we all put in work.
which is
We put in hours and hours of work.
Oh yeah, we locked ourselves up multiple times.
I would say probably put in 12 hours of work.
Oh wow, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I
don't
haven't
keep
I haven't
track.
counted it, but it was quite a lot. It was quite a
Yeah.
lot.
And this is like the first time we've actually done all of our homework. No,
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This thing called homework, turns out you got to do it because when my mom saw my report card, she flipped out.
No, it was a light week, so we just gave everybody the wonder.
For all you listening at home, college doesn't give report cards, so you can goof off as much as you want. Your mom will never
Oh,
know.
that's true, actually. Yeah,
Little
yeah.
life
They have to
hack.
ask you how you're doing in your classes.
And you'll say, I don't know, how are you doing your job, Dad? Heard you got
Oh
laid
my
off.
goodness.
Holy cow!
Oh man.
Sheesh.
No, but so we
But-
all did our work, but specifically,
Yeah. And so should you,
yes.
If
please
you
just
want to.
do your homework.
if you
If
want
you
to.
want to.
If you want.
If
Yeah.
you
If you want
we're
to.
not
We're not
We're
allowed
not
to tell
telling
you-
you to do this.
We
but-
can't tell you anything.
If
on
you
the
wanna
radio.
do your
That's like a
homework.
rule, so sorry.
Yes, but
We never said that.
The reason why I'm going to single out Billy and Jonathan specifically is because they had a presentation this week that went really well.
Well,
You know,
Well,
we
we hope it went well.
I mean,
yeah.
okay, sorry. Okay.
I think it went well.
I mean,
but-
I think
It was fun. We
okay,
had fun doing it.
Yes.
This is awkward. Can I
We
just-
joked around a little bit.
This is kind of awkward. Can I just admit? I know you guys did well because I actually came to your presentation.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I threw on big sunglasses, like a big baseball cap, like a fake mustache, big jacket, and I actually, because you guys were telling me about your presentation, it sounded so good. So like,
Uh-huh.
because they were like, yeah, we're doing this presentation about like attractiveness and leadership and how people are more likely to believe like more attractive people are natural leaders, right?
Well,
Yeah, sure. yeah, I mean,
that's the gist of it.
that's part of it.
I do want to give a shout
Okay, we
out.
don't need the whole presentation.
I know. No, I do want to give a shout out.
wait, let's just do it right now.
No,
It's only 10 minutes long. I
I
mean,
do want to see it.
Yeah,
Actually,
kill some.
I do really.
Yeah,
wanna see
maybe we'll do it
Just the funny
tonight
parts. You can skip all the-
after the show. But I do want to give a shout out to our professor because she said she would actually tune in. So if you are listening, thank you for listening.
yeah,
Yes.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for
We'll see you
listening,
tomorrow.
Professor.
Or
Or
Jonathan.
I will not,
He's
unfortunately.
missing class.
Yeah, he skipped.
Well,
Yeah.
There was just
yes.
boy blinder coming in a second.
No note
but-
card.
Oh man.
Okay, I was thinking.
Yeah, no note card.
But yeah, so after you guys left, I was like, that sounds really interesting. So I threw on my disguise. I walked after you guys. I went into class. She just said some like boring generic name. She was like, Bob Anderson. I was like, yeah, here. I'm sick.
So you impersonated.
I'm personally
a
a student,
student.
and I know because
Wow.
I'd beaten up the guy and taken his clothes. But no, I'm kidding. But then I watched you guys, and your presentation was really good. There was a few jokes in there. Like, and so at the beginning of the presentation, you showed like two people, an attractive guy and an ugly guy, and you're like,
Yeah.
That's not what that
who seems more like the leader? And,
I mean, we kind of did that. Yeah.
yeah, you're like,
It
who
wasn't
seems-
supposed to be that.
He seems
though.
more like the leader, and they picked an attractive guy. I picked an attractive guy. Then for you guys, it was like, all right, who looks more like the leader? It was a picture of you two, which was really
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I mean,
And then we're
I
like,
felt
wait,
bad that
no, don't
everybody
do it.
picked- I feel bad that everybody picked Jonathan Billy, but
Okay, come on, that didn't happen.
Well, I mean,
That's fake.
maybe in
All
their
this is
heads
fake.
they
You
picked
weren't even
me,
there.
but-
they're like him.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But that was really funny, and I mean, I think if I was your professor, I would have given you an A.
Oh,
You know,
Oh,
I'm a
well,
professor
thank
at
you.
IU.
We don't.
Well, thank you.
I'm a
Thank you.
professor
Well,
at IU, and I think you guys did a
Let's
great
not make this weird, though.
I'm a
Let's not make this
professor
weird.
at IU, and I
Especially,
think
especially
you
if
all
she is
did.
listening, which would be
Yes,
awesome.
thank you for listening.
Which would be awesome, yeah.
Yeah, but let's not make it weird.
No, I think you already did.
Also,
I didn't do anything.
a quick another reason why we're Boy Wonder. I don't know when we were planning to talk about this, but somebody did tell us we were doing really great today.
Oh, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we were all eating at Buffalo Wings. We were getting kind of sad because, well, maybe we don't need to go into
Yeah.
that.
Let's not get into it,
But
but
we were basically having a really in-depth discussion, and this random guy comes up to us. He looks kind of like Billy's dad. He's like a tall gentleman, mustache, glasses, older, like nice, like very reasonable, nice
Yeah.
clothes. And he was like, "Listen, I'm a professor here at IU, and I think you guys are doing a great job."
and we were all
was really nice
we were like,
of him.
oh, thank
It
you,
was
but
so
like,
nice, but we were like,
what
about
is he
what?
talking about? Yeah. How are we doing well? I mean, we were wondering, like, does he think we're studying or something, or was he overhearing our conversation and like trying to encourage us?
I think
or
he might have been trying to. My guess is he was trying to encourage us because we were getting a little in our feelings,
just a little bit,
a little bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was really nice. So shout out to that guy. But
Yeah,
also,
thank you.
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
He was so nice.
Kind of made my day. Yeah.
if you're listening, tweet in and say what we were doing a good job at.
If you
We
want
really
to.
want to appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
If you want to. And now, so Boy Wonder was so long this week that it took up the first half. We'll be getting to Boy Blender in a second,
Oh,
but first we have a quick musical interlude for you guys to listen to.
but don't go away because we're gonna get into our topic as well
No,
after that.
do not go away. We'll be right back. Hello, and we're back. That song was "Oh Yeah" by White Reaper.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Wait. Okay, wait.
Wait, what?
I think everything's good.
All right.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well,
Oh,
you may
really?
be saying, "Oh yeah," but you're about to say, "Oh no," because we're gonna do the boy blunder.
Oh,
no. Also, real quick,
no.
Sergey, if or anyone, if you can hear it, can you text me, please? Because I think I did the right thing.
No, you
Check
did
on
the
my
right thing.
laptop,
I'm almost
probably.
positive.
Okay.
So, anyways, yes, the boy blunder. The person who did something bad this week. Let's just cut right to the chase.
Cut right to the
We
chase.
have 3 boy
We have 3 boy
blunders.
blunders.
Like I said,
The most we're combining for 7 people we're talking
yeah,
about.
this is
today,
a record.
which is definitely a record.
But I guess we'll do the 2 of them first. 2 of them go together, and those are Billy and Clay announcing ourselves. So, Jonathan, you want to talk about why we received this award?
This huge.
Yeah, so
This
really
huge blemish on our reputation.
Yeah, so really
This
this is
huge blow.
happening. It's kind of a story of revenge, kind of a story of redemption at the same time.
Oh God, he's been planning this.
Yeah, this has been in the works for quite some time.
This is why we had this huge conversation about boy wonder and boy blunder.
So all 3 of us are on the arts committee with WIUX. That's the committee that we're on. We, design artwork from time to time. In the first meeting, I was not able to attend because I had prior plans. And unfortunately, I was the boy blunder that week for not being able to attend the meeting. But this week, I was actually the only boy to go to the
You
meeting.
were a boy blunder that week for not going to the meeting.
I think
Yeah,
I
he was.
was.
He was.
I definitely was,
Because
yeah.
I didn't go to the meeting. I didn't go to the meeting last week.
No.
We're talking about the first.
The
We've
first
only had
one.
2
Oh,
meetings.
yeah.
There's only been 2 meetings.
There's been
But
3
this
meetings.
week, I kind of redeemed myself, kind of got revenge on these boys a little bit at the same
Oh
time.
jeez.
And so they are the boy blunder this week for not going to the meeting. I was able to go, so I was able to fill them in on what we learned during
So
this
what did you
meeting.
learn during the meeting?
Oh, so I learned about the box folder for, we don't need to get into all the you of it, but
Oh
basically.
no, I mean clearly you have a lot to talk about.
Okay, really?
No, I
No,
actually
but
already
we,
talked. Figured out
yeah,
what
we
I
already,
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even need Jonathan.
okay, really? Come on.
Okay, we're kidding. Okay,
Jeez.
well, yeah, we're sorry. We'll go to the next meeting. Maybe. Yes.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to redeem myself for being the blunder last
No,
time.
no, and you should be redeemed. So we unfortunately are a blunder, and we actually do have one more blunder. The first blunder to ever go to an inanimate object.
Yes.
It's
Our
toilet,
toilet.
which broke.
Yeah.
Well, the handle broke.
Yes.
Or
Someone
specifically.
dropped
Let's
an-
just say somebody dropped a nuke in the toilet.
Yeah.
We're talking about nukes
Jonathan.
today, so let's just get.
No, I'm
yeah.
kidding. I'm
Okay,
kidding.
really?
No, we're kidding. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's
So
That's all for the
so
story.
we've been going outside for a while.
no. We have 2 bathrooms, just to be clear. But
Let's just say that.
Yeah, we have a porta potty now in our lawn, so we're using that.
we're getting
but-
it tomorrow. Let's say the mailman better watch where he walks, or he delivers
Oh,
our
Oh,
packages.
sheesh.
Because we might have been delivering some packages,
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I do my business on campus, to be honest. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been doing it wherever I can get. Sidewalk, campus,
Ugh.
any school bathroom.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's kind of become quite an emergency.
Oh, speaking of
Ooh,
emergency,
speaking of
this week we're
emergencies.
talking about emergencies.
Yes, and we also are going to talk a little bit about leftovers as
Because
well.
we leftover from leftover week.
Yeah,
Right,
so
which was last week,
we
and we
had-
did not actually get to talk about leftovers.
yeah, we talked about leftover things from shows that we wanted to do, but we never actually talked about like food, like leftovers, food that you eat the next day, or
Oh, maybe that's another thing we talk about. We could talk about show ideas that never worked out.
oh,
We do have a lot of song ideas that
Yeah.
never worked out.
that's true. And that
Yeah.
honestly could be an episode in itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
definitely.
We'll see if we can get to it though.
Yeah.
Um.
The shows you almost heard but didn't.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the idea though. So this is emergency leftovers.
Yes.
Starting with emergencies, the idea kind of behind this came when we all got that emergency presidential alert this
Yes.
afternoon.
Which is basically like just saying like
this-
emergency. I'm just testing this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was actually pretty annoying because it was like super loud. Like
Yeah.
I was telling these guys I was listening to like music, and all of a sudden I just had this like blaring sound in
Yeah.
my ears, like
It was
with my earbuds.
actually
Yeah.
Trump's voice himself. Emergency! Emergency! Wouldn't that be funny if he like raved everybody's iPhone? I need your attention, people.
Although I was reading, it actually
China.
doesn't come from him, even though it's called the presidential thing. It comes
Yeah.
from like some other.
You're telling me Trump didn't type out all of our numbers? All right, can I send? Am I gonna send?
Yeah.
That actually is pretty crazy that they have like the power to just put that message on all of our phones
Yeah.
at the same
I was
time,
thinking
like
that.
without
I was like, I don't want
that's
the man in my
wild.
life. I just took my phone and just like threw it down the toilet. I was trying to flush it, but it wouldn't flush obviously because our toilet's broken. So I just,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Did it the old-fashioned way. Garbage disposal.
Wait, do you guys know, was that just an iPhone thing, or did that happen on
It happened on
Android phone as well?
every cell phone.
No,
Really?
unfortunately,
Wait, every cell
I
phone?
think so. In the United States. I
Unfortunately,
think.
even the green textures weren't spared from that message.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was just an iPhone.
Well-
like even like flip phones, they would get. I'm
pretty
assuming
sure
not, right?
I'm pretty sure every phone got some sort of message or something on their phone.
Wow, that's crazy.
Even like one of those old-fashioned phones where you have to like put your finger in and you can go around.
Yeah.
They got a call.
The only reason
That's wild.
I think the only reason I know this is, and it kind of gets into what we were going to talk about in like our experience, is I was in class today and my professor talked about it, said like, oh, hey, have you guys heard at 2:18 there's going to be this alarm? So I like looked it up on the news and I read about it because I was like, oh, what is this? And that's why earlier today I put a message. We have like a group message and I put it in. I was like, hey guys, like at 2:17,
Yeah.
I said, hey guys, like World War III is starting, like get ready, like, you know, and then, you know, I just left it there.
Yeah.
And then like a minute later, this alert came off. So
No, I gotta be honest. Your little prank definitely worked because when I first saw, I had been on the internet all morning, like, you know, like cruising, surfing the web, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit it. You know, we all do it.
Of course.
But basically, when I was surfing the web, I didn't see anything weird. And then Billy texts us, like, World War III is about to happen. I was like, oh, shoot. Wait, I would have known. Like, I actually, like, didn't know if like, he was lying or telling the truth or whatever.
Yeah, like, or it could be joking. Like, it could be, like, some sort of bad thing happened in the news, and I'm just
Yeah,
joking
or,
about,
like,
oh,
it
this is
actually-
going to lead to World War III.
Or, like, it actually happened. So I, like, actually got paranoid. I'm like, wait, I was on the internet all morning. Like, I would have seen this, right? And I kept Googling, like, war.
Oh, goodness.
And, like,
Well, I thought it was real. Wow.
it actually brought up this article that was, like, U.S. may go to war with Korea over the South China Sea. And I'm like, oh, shoot, what if this is real?
Oh no.
But then I'm like, wait, there'd be more than just one random news article about this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I looked it up and I was like, oh, the president's going to text us. And then the messages came and I was like, oh.
Oh man.
But it's a good
Oh,
prank.
so you knew that it was going to be a test.
Yeah, he
before
said
got the
217. It's probably more like 215, he said.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
tried to do it right beforehand just so that, like, you know, you wouldn't be going thinking that there was a world war happening.
I actually
too
did
long.
for a little bit, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry if I caused an... Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot, he just caused an emergency.
Sorry,
Speaking
yeah,
of
my
World Wars.
microphone just kind of...
Yes, that was a good prank, though, because I definitely, for a second, I was like, oh, shoot, wait, are we actually going to war? Like, dang,
That'd be
that would be insane.
Crazy experience.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Obama enacted the purge.
Yes.
It's just really crazy.
It is crazy.
But yeah, no, so that's one emergency. But we Billy was sort of thinking, what were you thinking after that? Something must have been going on in that beautiful head of yours.
Oh, thinking about what?
About, like, our show tonight, you know?
Oh, yeah. Crazy
we were gonna talk
emergency
about,
stories.
yes.
Not actual emergencies. Because, you know, those are usually sad in
Yes.
some form. But
Oh, yeah, definitely so.
before we get into, so we were gonna do like crazy like emergency drills. You know, we have these things all the time, kind of like what today was. Not really a drill, more of
Yeah.
a test. Like weird,
It's so weird, though.
weird things that happen with drills or tests, and then you know we're gonna get into leftovers, and then you know leftover emergencies. Everything's fair game here.
Yeah.
Um,
If it's about leftovers emergencies, we're talking about it, people.
So Clay, I know you were saying, you and me, I know, said that we had like a few quick like weird things that have happened to us in the past, like during like school drills.
Yes, school
Yeah,
drills,
we
and
didn't-
also
we didn't
not
talk-
drills. Like sometimes, like schools have things that are not drills; they're just like real emergencies.
Oh yikes, that's always scary. So
Mm.
I thought we could. So we did not discuss it, so that we purposely could all have a discussion.
Yes, and Jonathan has the craziest one. He's gonna tell us crazy.
He's got this crazy
emergency
leftover story. It's
Yeah,
not about
no.
a drill.
Yeah, he's more a
Oh,
leftover
man.
guy, so he's got this crazy leftover
Yeah,
story.
the crazy leftover story. Yeah.
Yeah.
That bean burrito. Anyways, I won't spoil it. I won't spoil
Oh,
it.
the bean where the beans are actually. Oh yeah, that's.
Oh,
terrible.
my goodness.
Yeah, Jonathan will explain that to you later.
Okay. So do you want to go first? You want me to?
Yeah,
Go first?
so I went to school in Indianapolis. I went to IPS, and there were a lot of random drills or emergencies. Like, definitely have some like really vivid memories. Like, what would happen a lot is like somebody would like commit a crime in the neighborhood, like rob somebody or like beat somebody up, or like somebody would be like shooting something,
Oh yeah.
and so then like the whole school would go on lockdown, which is always like really scary.
Yeah,
because like
it is.
because like basically like all of us kids would hide in the corner, and like the teacher would still stand there. It's like, well, I get it's locked, but this does not feel very safe. Like, oh yeah, it'll help us from getting shot. Let's all go in one corner where we'd have no way to get out of if like a gunman was actually facing us. Anyways, I don't want to go too into that.
Mhm.
But yeah, most of my memories, like I remember at one lockup, there'd always be like the one kid in class who'd be like freaking out and be like, I gotta call my mom. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, but I remember at one lockdown we had, these two girls actually started fighting, which was really crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Over what?
I don't know, man. Like we were just like eating lunch and like the lockdown thing came on and we all were going back to the classroom, but our lunch was right next to the gym and like these two girls in the gym just like started like they're both in my class actually. They started fighting, going at it. I'm like, wow, like why is this lockdown? Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
the teachers can't see us. Let's
That's
fight.
actually
Wait,
scary.
were they actually like swinging
That's like
at
a
each
real
other or
thing.
what?
Oh yeah, like basically at my school, when the boys would fight, it was never that interesting because they'd usually just like, some people might know what they mean, but they put their shoulders next to each other's shoulders and just like walk into each other and like, I bet you're not gonna hit me. I bet you're not gonna swing, and like nothing happens. Whereas the girls would go crazy, like punching each other, pulling their hair out. You know what I mean? Like pushing each other down, slamming each other into walls. So it was definitely one of those fights. And I remember being like, "Oh shoot!" And I was thinking about it today. I'm like, what if they were just like, oh, well, if you know this lockdown is serious and this is the last time I'm alive, I just got to get this fight out of me real quick. You know what I mean? This girl's been really annoying me lately.
Oh man.
So that was weird.
Nice.
And then another lockdown. I lost my tooth in a lockdown too, which is pretty crazy.
What?
Like I was in the bathroom. And you know when you have a loose tooth and you're just like bothering it all day, like you got your tongue in it, you're like,
Yeah.
just because it feels so weird, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I remember I was in the bathroom washing my hands because you know how we'd go on like bathroom breaks as kids, where it's like the whole class goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like imagine if we had it in the college, that would be really fun. but yeah, and like my tooth just felt like the alarm went off, and maybe it was like the shock or something, but my tooth just fell out.
Oh,
and I never found it.
Oh goodness.
It was dark, and we were
in the bathroom, or
it was on the way out of the bathroom because we had like
Okay.
these granite like. I don't know if they're real granite, like faux granite floors that they were like, oh, my mom would know the right name for it. It's like Tessa something. It's like an Italian thing. But there were all these like little white dots and like a big like in like it was like a cream floor with a bunch of little white dots that look exactly like teeth. So I knocked my teeth down and like it was already dark because there's like lockdown. So like, oh god, I can't find my tooth. So just had to take the L and go back to my class. But I remember being really sad because I was like, oh, the tooth fairy is not going to come. My tooth fell
oh
out.
man, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely pretty crazy. Billy, what are your lockdown stories?
Yeah, nothing as crazy because I mean we never had like
Or
a real
drill emergency
real
stories.
thing. It was usually drills. I guess one time there was this small like patch of woods by my middle school.
It's haunted, right? Joe told.
Oh yes.
One of my
Joe did
friends
tell you.
who's from a neighboring town.
Oh, he's our
rival
friend
town.
too.
My friend.
Yes.
A rival town told me those woods were haunted.
Yes, that is a thing. Maybe,
Can you tell us about the ghost at all?
I honestly would have to look more into it, but they say there's this ghost of a woman who lives because there's this like abandoned cabin in the middle of the woods there.
It's pretty scary.
So I don't honestly know all the details, but I do remember hearing the story, and it is scary. But it's not the ghost that emerged. There were actually 2 wolves.
What?
That came out, and like they came out of the woods, and it was like right next to our high
Wolves?
school.
That's crazy. Wolves don't even live. Like I didn't think they lived in the U.S. anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's insane.
And so we actually went on lockdown for that.
Did you see them?
Wow.
No, I did not.
Oh shoot.
That's
So
crazy.
that was kind of wild.
Were they confirmed wolves, or did somebody just like see like
That's what everyone
somebody's chihuahua and was like, "There's wolves."
I mean,
Help.
that could have happened, but I can neither confirm nor deny if they were actually wolves or not. That was just what they were saying.
Oh, that's really scary.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, what is the protocol? Like 2 wolves are in the school. Oh, that's
No, not in the school, just like on the school's like outside or whatever.
that's under section 8 of H of the school's protocol book.
Yeah, we're having a wolf drill.
Wolf drill.
Oh.
Everyone
Man, who let the dogs
Everybody
out?
howl.
grab the chew toys.
Jeez.
No, but another one. This is just kind of, it's not really funny. It's just kind of crazy that this happened. There was this fire drill we had once in the middle of winter, or it might have.
Oh, those were always terrible. The fire drills in winter.
I think it actually it might have been one of those things where they think it was a real fire, or it was like a small fire,
It was,
like a
it was
microwave.
really just like some like student teacher was like microwaving
Yeah.
leftovers.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the teacher
Speaking
lounge.
of leftovers,
Oh, speaking of leftovers. Foreshadowing.
and so it.
Oh, my mom just texted me. Those type of floors are called terrazzo.
Ah,
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh. Yeah, your dad also just commented on Facebook about that. He said Terrazzo's silly.
So,
wow.
so he had to steal my mom's thunder then, I guess.
Oh man.
Jeez. And insult me.
And then he also said, and why would you ask your mom instead of your Italian dad?
Well, my dad is Italian, but I mean, I only know because the floors in my dorm were like that, and my mom specifically said, "Oh, these are
Hey, you
terrazzo."
asked for their help. You should be happy.
I did. I should have asked for my
No, thank
Italian dad,
you,
but
No, but
Oh, man.
so I think they thought it was a real fire, but it actually wasn't. And the
it was actually a wolf who had
yeah, a wolf had tried to microwave some leftovers.
he tried to make some leftover
A
roadkill.
wolf was impersonating a teacher.
Yes.
And- no, what actually happened
Hey,
is
wolf and teacher's clothing.
we had like a pool that like during gym, like for a couple of the weeks we would have like swimming
Yeah.
or whatever. And so people had to get out of the pool with like just wearing their
You had a
bathing
pool at
suit.
your middle school?
No, sorry, this is our
high school.
our high school, and like we would go
Wait,
over.
what?
We would walk over to the high school pool because our high school and middle school are right next to each
Oh,
other.
Oh
okay.
yeah, same.
So
Were you ever scared to like go to high school? Like, what if the kids are like
what if they're
scary?
they're gonna beat me up?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, cool.
But
I probably would have felt like that.
But anyways, so basically what happened is these kids were wearing their bathing suit, and it was like there was snow
Oh,
out. It was really
shoot.
cold, and
Yeah.
actually someone I think got like hypothermia or something. Someone actually ended up
Oh,
going to the
God.
hospital.
Wait, what? That's
yeah, and the
crazy.
school
That's
our school
insane.
got in trouble for
Yeah, they
it.
should have. That's
Yeah.
insane.
They were fine. So it all ended up okay. But that was
Couldn't
just
they
a
have,
crazy
bundle-
thing. Like,
th-
holy cow.
Shouldn't like whoever's working the pool like give them like a bunch of towels or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Supposedly, I remember like the local news kind of covered it, and I remember them saying like, "Oh, they didn't know what the alert was for. Like, it could have been like toxic chemicals in the pool water." I'm like,
Oh,
"What?"
Okay, really? I mean, I guess it could have been.
I
I,
was
but
like-
they
I
didn't.
mean, I wouldn't expect any less of Munster.
Okay,
so.
really?
As a Highland man,
No. You're kidding me. You're a Highland man.
No, I'm not. I'm Crown Point. If I have to claim allegiance to any of them,
All right.
that is crazy
Fair
though.
enough.
I'm guessing like where near your friends in the ooh, that's rough. Where near your friends in the pool?
I don't really remember. No one I knew very well though. It may have been like a different grade. I
Oh,
just
shoot.
remember that happening. That was
That's crazy. Monsters got wolves, ghosts, and
And
freezing
snowmen.
half naked kids.
my
That's what he
goodness.
said. Snowmen,
Well,
yes, exactly.
So Jonathan.
Some say one of the kids never got back into school. And he still haunts the woods.
Oh, no, he's
like some
still
kid is, like-
frozen there.
Yeah, he's like completely frozen. He's got like these icicles, but he's in like one of those like Hawaiian flower bathing suits. He's like,
Oh, Oh, yeah. But Jonathan, tell us about your leftovers. 'Cause
Okay.
we've talked about our emergency drills.
Yeah, and I don't think anything ever happened to me that was like crazy during an emergency drill, if I'm remembering correctly. I think
but some crazy things happen.
my school was very well run. Everyone.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
jeez,
I'm
come
joking
on.
around. I'm joking around. But no, I actually don't have crazy leftover stories
Oh, come on,
either.
the burrito.
You got
But
tell about. Okay, we made up the burrito.
Yeah.
yeah, there actually no. I usually eat all of my food. To be honest, I rarely have
I do
leftovers.
too. I do too.
So,
Yeah.
so this is your time to give us what is your opinion on leftovers? Are you
Well,
against it?
first,
or-
we need to get to sports on the
Yes.
31s.
Oh,
There's supposed to be
shoot.
sports on the 20s.
Yes.
32 is actually, but
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. My clock says 31, but oh wait, my phone now says 32. But anyways,
Ha!
all
told
right,
you.
okay,
Okay.
really. But anyways, real quick, just wanted to run through a few sports items. So first up, IU football did defeat Rutgers this weekend.
Oh my God, Rutgers! What are we gonna
Rutgers.
do? We needed that game.
So that score
Oh,
was
Rutgers!
24-17, and they'll be playing Ohio
Like,
State.
what are those guys doing out there? Playing tic tac toe? This is a ball game. That's the
Oh,
Rutgers fan who's a guest today.
Who's really upset?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Rutgers is not very good this year.
Oh, come on! Say it again, buddy. See what happens.
Indiana is also playing Ohio State this upcoming weekend.
Oh
on
yeah,
Saturday.
we're supposed to just destroy them.
A few other sports news items. Today is also the opening day for the NHL.
Oh,
So actually,
nice.
starting 2 minutes ago is the first game of the NHL season.
oh, how are the Jersey
the,
Devils
the
doing?
Anaheim Ducks and the San Jose
What
Sharks.
is going on right now?
And last of all, right now is the MLB wild card game for the
Oh.
American League, where the Yankees are playing the Athletics. Unfortunately, Clay has an Athletics jersey
I am an
on
Athletics fan.
right
and-
now, but
The
they're
Athletics-
losing 6-0 in the bottom
that
of
was
the
a
second.
recent thing too. Like that's why I was like, because like 2 seconds ago the Yankees scored.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Scored 3.
Also yesterday, the Rockies beat the Cubs to take the All-Star spot for the National League, which I was disappointed about.
Let me know when the Mets are playing. All right.
Yeah,
Then we can talk.
Go Mets.
Go Mets. The Mets. No, I'm kidding. Good sport reporting, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you.
Might be cut out for
And
this.
that's the sports on the 20s.
Yeah,
Or
Mr. Chad over
33s now.
Yeah, but now you can't
34.
avoid the question.
Yeah, the bean burrito.
Oh,
You
man.
know, what is your opinion?
What was
on
really in
left-
those beans?
What is your
Opinion
opinion
on
on
leftovers?
leftovers? Because leftovers are kind of a certain type of emergency. If you
Yes,
think about it, it's
'cause-
food that needs to be eaten.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
that's
food
true.
emergency. I gotta eat my leftovers. Coming through.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So what do you got? What do you
Well-
What do you think?
So I'd say certain leftovers are definitely better than other leftovers, right?
I'd agree.
So like pizza, generally like a pretty good leftover. Do you guys agree?
Pretty good. It's
Yeah,
obviously
you know,
better in the flesh.
It's
but-
better in the flesh, but you can eat it cold. You can eat it hot. I think either way, it's pretty good.
Mhm.
Even if you just put it in the microwave, it's pretty good.
See,
Put in the oven.
That's
though,
that's
then you get the real nice.
yeah.
Crispy
I mean, I
pizza.
never like the microwave. What I used to do actually when I was in my youth
Mhm.
was I would take a pan and put like oil in it and like just like fry both sides of the pizza.
Oh yeah.
So then it was like
Yeah.
super crunchy and like really cheesy. It was probably terrible for me, but like
Yeah.
fried pizza is also another really good way to reheat pizza. But I'd
Sure.
say of the healthy ones, oven is way the best option.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes you can
Yeah.
stick it in
I've
the
never-
toaster.
Wait, so you fry leftover pizza?
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, I've never
Really?
done that.
It's like
Yeah, I've
because
never really
heard of that,
then
actually.
the like crust becomes super hard and like crunchy,
Oh,
but the
man.
cheese gets like super soft and like melty, and it's just really really good.
Oh, that sounds pretty amazing, actually.
We should try it next time.
Maybe
get
we
pizza.
should. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely think you can
Leftovers.
only eat one of before you feel like you're gonna die. But
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, I feel like I usually don't bring home leftovers.
I know, me
What
too.
about-
I
what
usually eat
about you guys?
everything,
Yeah.
and if I don't eat everything, it's probably because I didn't like it that much. Then I don't want to bring over leftovers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is really true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like usually I've rarely been getting food. I'm like, oh, this is so good, but I really can't finish it. Like usually if it's so good, I overcome any like hunger issues I'm having, and I just eat
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess the main time, like sometimes you actually like plan for leftovers, right? So you'll order more than you want because the food is really good.
Do you ever do that? I never do that.
Sorry, I rarely do that, but there have been times where I have. Like I think once or twice in Chicago when I go get deep dish, get like extra deep dish, so then there would be like leftovers.
Yeah, I can take this home and fry it up.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, or take it to work the next day for lunch.
I've actually had a lot of leftover deep dish recently because one of my girlfriend Simone's family friends brought her like an entire like Illuminati's pizza from Chicago.
Oh,
it's like huge, and so like, and that's an example of like you eat one slice of it and you feel like completely filled to the brim, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it's interesting.
Which is your favorite then?
Like pizza?
Oh, I mean, like, you're saying it's not your favorite pizza or not your favorite deep dish?
Not my favorite style. I don't like deep dish. That's the thing.
Really?
I think Illuminati's for deep dish is really good, but I think deep
Okay.
dish is not nearly as good as like other pizza.
I agree. Unpopular opinion.
Still delicious. Like I'm glad I'm eating it, but I'm never like I don't really feel like I'm even eating a pizza.
Yeah, it is.
Like this is almost like a big piece of bread with like a huge piece of bread.
Yeah.
With like random stuff on it.
Deep dish is like much more of a treat to me. It's like, ooh, some deep dish sounds like amazing.
Oh,
Whereas
see, I've
like
never
pizza,
felt
it's
that.
like, oh yeah, pizza, it's always pretty good. Like,
Regular pizza would be the treat to me. I'm like, oh, pizza.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd agree. But I do think, even though we in here are the majority, I think we're actually usually the minority. I think most people like deep dish more.
I think you only think that because you're from outside of Chicago.
yeah, definitely in the Midwest.
So people feel like they have to say they like deep dish because they're from it, when really very few people like deep dish actually more.
Interesting.
I mean,
interesting
definitely-
theory.
I mean, even from Indianapolis, people aren't like, oh, deep dish is the best. I think it might be like a region thing.
Maybe.
Because
Yeah,
region
definitely
people
a Chicago thing.
Region
And
people
region.
are in denial they live in Indiana. They love the Cubs or the White Sox. I mean, no, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
They love the Bulls. They love the Bears. They love their deep dish. It's
I
like,
mean, why-
it's like you don't have to have this inferiority complex, all right?
It's not an
You're from
inferiority,
Indiana.
it's just
where
why
you
would
live
we love?
closer
Why
to,
would
though.
with those sports teams? Why would we like a team that's like 3 hours away when there's a team that we can go to games in less than an hour away?
What happened to state pride, man?
That's what I'm saying.
Jeez.
I don't know, man.
Jeez. Why don't you
We're
get-
not on your time zone, so I don't know. When
Oh,
this
we don't want
became-
you in our time zone. Trust me.
Good. We don't want to be in your time zone. When did this
Okay,
get? When
really?
did this become about? The region.
I'm just saying,
You know?
some people from the region overcompensate with their Chicago-ness. They say napkin. You know what I mean? All right.
Okay. I say napkin in a weird way. I understand.
But I feel
Just
like
for
the deep
anyone who
dish
doesn't
pizza,
understand that.
Billy, I feel like the deep dish pizza is a thing where it's like I'm from Chicago. Most people don't like deep dish pizza because it's weird. I have to.
Okay, that's definitely not true.
I'm trying to
I
agree.
was
Deep
not
dish pizza is
saying most
weird.
people don't like
Deep dish pizza is weird.
I'm trying to
It is
agree
weird.
with you here. Why are
I don't think
you
it's weird.
roasting me right now?
I'm sorry. I wasn't even looping you into
You know
the
what?
region
You know
people.
what? You know what? Forget about this. I like deep dish pizza
Oh,
now.
come on.
Hey,
Region.
let's go.
I gotta go with
baby.
Jonathan.
This guy's
Hey,
region
you
ratness
don't
is
bite
coming
the
up.
don't bite the hand.
Look, I'm not saying I want to eat a deep dish
Don't bite
slice
the hand.
every week or
sorry.
anything like that, but when I do, it's really
See,
good.
to me, it's a
yeah.
treat where it's like, this is good, but I'd probably rather have the real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when like I don't know, like what's an example of that where it's like something you really like and then you get something different for once. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Jeez, I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, anyways, keep going. I'll think of something.
I don't know. But no, in actuality, when Clay isn't roasting me, I do actually prefer.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry.
I do prefer normal pizza. No, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
It's
it's like
I'm
when
just
somebody
joking.
like for your birthday, like they like have like ice cream cake instead of cake. You're like, ice cream cake, fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure to be eating cake, but okay,
Oh, yeah.
this is fun. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
No, I do think Chicago pizza tastes good. There's no
Yeah,
denying
it's
that.
so good. Yeah.
Not as good though as the many other types of pizza.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've hashed
I'm
this out
sorry for
enough.
roasting the region.
No.
Many of the people I know from the
I'm
region.
sorry for roasting deep dish.
I just do feel like some people from the region have got to prove their Chicago-ness, and that's like I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying it's something I've noticed as a student of human behavior. No, I'm kidding. I'm not
I think literally your only point here is the
Let's just
the
agree that
sports
Chicago
teams,
hot
which I
dogs-
feel makes sense.
Chicago hot dogs got way too much stuff on it.
Wait, oh man, I love Chicago.
Oh,
hot
they're
dogs.
really good.
No, it's got way too much.
Dude,
oh, clearly,
you've never
I
lived in
just,
Chicago, man. I mean, I haven't either, but I've
Yeah.
been there.
I mean,
lot.
I'm moving to Chicago, so I kind of have to love everything. But I
See,
actually
that's what I mean,
do. I
compensating.
actually do, though.
Yeah, no,
No, it's
hot
not to
dogs-
compensate. I actually love the Chicago dog.
I think
It's
the
really
fact
good.
that you're bringing this up. I mean, if anyone's got the inferiority,
I also just
Yeah,
love
honestly,
the smell.
yeah.
I do not have an.
Yeah.
Well,
why are you bringing up Chicago hot dogs?
because we're talking about Chicago
Hey, I'm
food.
just I'm a victim here.
We're Chicago. We're talking
I'm
about
just making a
Chicago
defense,
food.
man.
I'm from Indianapolis. I'm very proud to be from Indianapolis. I'm actually from the city I am proud to be from, which is.
You're so proud of it that you have to, poke fun at people who aren't from Indianapolis.
I'm just saying. I've noticed that people in the region
I've
are
noticed
very
that-
defensive about being from Chicago. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, I'm not saying I'm defensive.
All
about
right.
being
You just
Chicago.
seem a
I'm
little defensive.
I'm just
You seem a little
trying to
testy
Okay,
right now.
guys, I feel like we've gone over this enough. Let's go ahead and move on to something else. Right?
I think you're being kind of defensive. I think we're both being. A little,
Okay, really,
I think we're
guys?
all being a little defensive.
I mean,
maybe you're being offensive.
Earlier you're being defensive. Now you're being offensive.
Now
Okay,
you're-
you're offending me right now.
Jonathan.
Oh,
Okay,
goodness.
Jonathan is trying to
we
keep
should
us.
we should definitely we should move.
He's
on.
keeping us from. He's trying to
You
keep
guys
me.
from jumping over the table and
I
just
think we're
going
being
at
a
it.
little bit too offensive. Over here. I don't know how we
Jonathan's
got
trying to
into
keep
this
me and
from
Clay from
leftover
causing an
food.
actual real emergency
An actual-
in the
yeah.
studio.
And trust
Yeah,
me, that would be
so
an emergency not in Billy's
Speaking
favor,
of
no, I'm
some
kidding.
real emergencies that have happened, let's go ahead and get into our next segment, which is nukes
And
nachos.
nachos.
Yes. So what is this segment?
Yeah, Clay, do you wanna explain?
Yes, so
since
this-
you clearly are. I'm kidding. I'm
Okay,
kidding. I'm
really?
kidding.
This is
Oh,
under
man.
what?
It's this is all good fun. I'm just
Yeah.
joking around. I'm just
Definitely.
joking around. No,
Well-
I am.
This segment we'll be talking about real. We decided to combine our two themes, which is. Oh wait, before this, can I talk about a really bad leftover story? This
Sure.
has nothing to do with Chicago. This
Okay.
is just a bad leftover
Sure.
story. So every year, me and my family go up to Michigan. You know, I'm very proud to be from Michigan. Like, go Lions, go up. No, I'm kidding. But we go up to Michigan
is
every
going
year.
on?
We go up to Michigan every year. That's all I'm saying.
So do we.
And I actually don't even like people from Michigan, to be honest.
Okay, really?
No, like literally, like if I had to pick one group of people I don't like, it's like, oh, people from Michigan.
Okay,
What the-
man, we're
Why
being
is
so
it-
aggressive on this show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe
You
just
hate
me.
everyone.
Hey,
It's
it's all
fine.
just. I'm just here to have fun.
Anyways, so we're staying at this house in Michigan. Well, this story might explain why I don't like Michigan to people do. They won't. But we're staying at this house in Michigan, right? And I'm hungry. We don't like on vacation, you're not really out buying groceries. Well, I mean, you kind of were, but none of the stuff in the house sounded good to me. So I was looking through this kitchen and I saw this big box of this cereal called Golden Grams. You ever heard of this stuff, Golden Grams? They got it on the in the grocery store.
Yeah, I
I
heard
think
of
I've
it.
heard of it.
Well, I had a very fond memory of eating Golden Grams because when I was a kid in Spain, Golden Grams was one of the few American cereals they had, and there's a picture of Frodo from Lord of the Rings on the cover. So I always liked Golden Grams because of that. So I got Golden Grams and I poured it into a bowl. I didn't put any milk in it because if you know me, maybe this is something to make fun of me for, but I like my cereal and my milk separate. I like to have a bowl of cereal and drink milk on the side. That's just me. I start eating the cereal with my hands. I'm like, this is good. It's definitely super stale. And then I get a terrible taste in my mouth, like a disgusting taste. But part of me was like, how like sometimes you'll be eating something really good, but you'll get like the wrong piece of it, and it just tastes kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like maybe you're eating a burrito and you get like that one weird piece of chicken. You're like, oh,
like
that's...
that burrito that Jonathan ate.
Yeah, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. And then I was eating more, and I had another of these terrible tastes. I'm like, this tastes truly disgusting. Like everything tasted fine, but I kept getting these bad tastes. And this is a part that almost makes me want to throw up remembering it. I started looking through the cereal, and all of a sudden I saw this black stuff on the bottom, and it was a bunch of ants. And I touched it, and
No!
ants
Oh,
started
my
crawling all
goodness.
over across the
Oh,
bottom. So I had
gosh.
basically been eating ants. That was a really disgusting taste.
Ugh.
Oh,
I wanted to just rip my tongue out. I was like, I'm never gonna eat somebody's like leftover cereal at their house
Oh,
ever
that's
again because there were literally
terrible.
ants and I had eaten so many ants.
Oh,
It makes me want to puke just thinking about it.
Oh,
You are
man.
the bug guy.
Yes,
Yeah, you
but-
are the bug
Yeah,
man.
that's why I was so sad because I was eating this. But let me just say, some cultures eat bugs. I respect that. I'm sure there's none out there that eats ants because they taste so bad.
Ugh.
Anyways, that was my bug story. Let's go on
Wow.
to the segment now.
Goodness.
Yes.
That was my leftovers.
Wow, that was. Oh man, that was disturbing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so for nukes and nachos, we're just gonna have a little discussion.
This is kind of a weird segment.
Yeah, this is a weird segment, just because we have this emergency alert topic and this leftover topic. Clay has a list of the best leftovers of all time, or something
Yes.
along those lines.
This is the list. This is the random list I pulled up. It's called best and worst leftover foods. So I can run this by you guys and see what you think about these leftover foods.
And then I have an article about our other topic with the emergency alerts and emergency drills. And these are times that like kind of emergencies have kind of been caused by the U.S. themselves.
Mhm.
They've created emergencies or close calls for themselves because
Like
there are a
today?
few times there are a few times in the U.S.'s history that they've actually like dropped nuclear bombs on accident, or like something has gone wrong while trying to test a nuclear bomb. So we're talking about two very different things. We're just gonna switch back and forth, have a discussion about each of them, and see where it gets.
Yes.
See,
So let's go to
see
our.
what we like more, the nachos or the nukes.
Let's go to our first
Hopefully we'll like
emergency.
the nachos.
Billy, what is our first emergency?
Oh, our first emergency. Okay, so I'll start with this one.
An emergency is Billy's got to find this list.
Yeah, no.
First of
well,
all-
my laptop died, so I'm
Oh,
on
I'm
my
sorry,
phone.
man.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's fine, man.
How old is it?
Okay, really? So
my condolences.
yeah, here's the first emergency actually occurred. This is crazy. I remember when I think I heard about this a couple years back that like, like the U.S. actually has like dropped atomic bombs on accident. And when I heard that, I was like, that does not sound real. That sounds ridiculous. But the fact is, a lot of these happened, when it was super easy to cover up. So it wasn't really common knowledge for a really, really long time. And that's what most of these are.
Right. Yeah.
And in most of them, there's relatively low damage. Unfortunately, there are consequences, but nothing like on a scale where like they actually like destroyed a city or anything like that.
No, just a few small villages. And
No. Although no, I mean not to make light of it though, because there are some bad things that came from this. But so this one it happened in 1966, in Spain. So this is the time the United States accidentally set a nuclear bomb off on Spain.
Oh shoot!
Oh man.
What actually happened is there was a U.S. Aircraft that was carrying a nuclear weapon of some kind, just for like testing purposes. I don't know.
Is this the same kind of nuclear weapon who broke our toilet, or is it like one of the real kinds?
One of the real kinds.
Okay.
And it was flying up in the air pretty high up, and it was going to refuel mid-air, just because.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, that is like something that things will do, I guess. And so the plane
they just squirt the fuel really high? Like they're just some guy standing out there.
The article did not get into detail, but that may be what it is. So anyways, the refueling plane, however, crashed into the plane that was holding the weapon, and
that's why you don't refuel in the air.
Yeah, that's why you don't refuel
honestly.
in the air. And it blew up. So sadly, those aircrafts and anyone who was on them were destroyed.
Rest in peace to those people.
But the explosion did occur really, really high up in the air, and so none of like the debris. I don't think this was like as big of a bomb as like some of the ones that the U.S. has made. So none of the like people on the ground suffered any consequences from it. It was just the people who were involved in this refueling process. But that's just kind of crazy that this bomb went off, in the skies of Spain, and the U.S. kind of dropped the ball. I'm sure other countries drop the ball all the time with this stuff, or drop the bomb.
Of course,
I guess.
Of course, I'm not making light of this, but you don't see me trying to refuel when I'm driving, 80 down the highway. Right? Fuel. Giant planes, a bunch of fuel, and nukes is definitely probably not the most common.
Yeah, you can kind of tell. So let's get into something a little bit more lighthearted with
let's hear about
a leftover.
One of the best leftovers. This is a very specific one. North African stews.
Ooh.
Why, you ask? Because apparently North African stews are cooked in a slow cooking oven. So, that just helps it. Apparently that's just what you want. And it says that leftover chana masala or aloo gobi, which I'm guessing is like Indian food, they just not good to heat up. So next time you're eating a North African stew, I know Jonathan always takes some North African stews. You might want to just, if you can't finish it, just save it for later, because it would still be really, really good.
Oh wow, that sounds pretty good. Let me keep that in mind.
Yeah, we gotta make some African stews. That's a good leftover.
Oh yeah. I have some African stews that my family's African that my family taught me that I could love to make for you guys.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, so getting back to a emergency, I guess. Let's see here. Wait, I'm trying to make sure I have all the details here. Oh yes, okay. So the good news with this one is no one was injured.
Yay!
Nothing bad. Okay,
nice.
Well, some bad stuff happened, but no people were harmed. So what happened?
And the people who were harmed aren't allowed today to complain about it. So.
No.
I'm kidding.
So in this one, it's the time that the United States bombed Greenland.
Oh yeah, when we went to war with Greenland.
Yeah, the great Greenland in Indian
we need their
War.
ice. They're hoarding it all.
Exactly. So this happened in 1968. It seems like all these happened around the same time, which is late 1960s.
Yeah.
But
that was when everybody in the U.S. was staying, and the U.S. government was staying pretty. So there were just bombs going off really
everywhere.
Yeah.
So
the Pentagon, they're all at Woodstock, so they were like, "Oh man, we bombed Spain. No, the refueling in the air thing didn't work."
Yeah. So instead of refueling in the air this time, they just there was this aircraft that was carrying 4 hydrogen bombs. It was flying over Greenland. They were just trying to transport it somewhere.
They were just like, "Hey, Greenland, mess up and see what's going to happen to you, all right?"
Yeah. No. They were
One of these bombs will have your name on it.
Just like Spain, they just so happened to be flying over Greenland.
Yeah.
And the plane caught on fire, and so they decided they had to do an emergency landing. But it was a little bit more of an emergency than they thought.
There's 4 atom bombs.
And before they actually landed, and all the people landed safely, I believe, the bombs were dropped. from the thing into the ocean, so not into the Greenland mainland. Of the 4 bombs, one of them did go off, and it contaminated all the snow in the water. And the article says that the U.S. like went in and like collected all the contaminated water in the snow. I don't know what they did.
They're just a bunch of Navy SEAls with,
They drank it.
with turkey basters just going.
Yeah, I don't know what the process.
They flush
is.
it down some huge toilet.
Yeah, but basically,
Drank it.
basically they got rid of all the contaminated snow and water, and the remaining 3 bombs did not go off. They recovered 2 of them. They found them, brought them back to the U.S., but one of them was never found.
Oh shoot!
So somewhere off the coast of Greenland, there's just an atomic or a hydrogen bomb that I assume can just be set off if someone.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, that is kind of a scary thought. You can go down to the deep seas of Greenland and set off an atomic bomb.
We're left wondering though why were they carrying 4 hydrogen bombs up through Greenland? Were they was that when they were worried that Santa Claus was going over to the communists and they need
Yeah,
to send him a message?
They were trying to save Christmas.
So these elves, huh? They're trying to unionize.
The crazy thing
We're trying to save Christmas by nuking Santa Claus.
No, the crazy thing is the United States didn't even get in trouble for this little incident. In fact, Greenland did get in trouble for this happening because they're a territory of Denmark.
Poor Greenland.
And Denmark has like this policy or some sort of law in place that says like they don't deal with nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do they not make them, but they don't even allow them to be to pass over their country.
Mm-hmm.
And Greenland kind of went against this and cleared the passage for the United States to
Greenland.
take this little shortcut through
So
Greenland.
they got nuked.
And so after the United States, drops their bombs off the coast of Greenland, then Greenland gets in trouble for it. I mean, I guess they did go against the law, but that's just crazy. The United States got away scot-free.
Yeah.
I mean, they did have to collect all that snow.
Yeah, they'd have to drink all that snow.
That probably took a lot of.
Bad.
But yeah.
Oh, I'm glad nobody was harmed, but
Yes.
I just feel bad for Greenland now.
Yeah.
Any
Only
listeners from
Frosty
Greenland?
the Snowman was the only one who was damaged.
Yeah. Any people from Greenland? We just need to. I know we have a lot of listeners out there, but we just need to apologize. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Next on the leftovers, this is actually under a section called "Some Tinkering Required." So these are food that, although they do heat up, you definitely need to be a little bit of a master chef in the kitchen to get it right.
Uh-huh.
And interestingly enough, John was talking about how ubiquitous pizzas are at leftovers. This list actually has pizza under some tinkering required. And their
That's
recommendation
kind of
is
true, though. Yeah.
toast
There's better ways
pizza
to
for
do it.
1 to 2 minutes, depending on thickness, on a skillet on high heat. So maybe I'm not that crazy after all. Add a few drops of water and cover it for 30 seconds. See, what I would just do is cook it on both sides for 5 minutes each until it's this big deep fried thing.
Sure.
But hey, maybe we can try it next time.
Hmm.
Billy, you got any more emergencies for us?
I'll just do one last
I
quick
can get
one.
into the section called "Forget About It."
Oh, I'll do one last quick one. The U.S. Accidentally bombed Canada once. They something malfunctioned with the plane and the bomb was dropped actually, and it did hit the land, but it didn't go off.
Oh.
So nothing bad happened other than the fact that they had to go back down and get it.
Well, we're sorry, Canada. Or if
Yes.
we're going to
Oh,
use
man.
your language, we're sorry.
Sorry. So if anyone ever asks, "Hey, remember that one time did the U.S. ever bomb Canada?" You can say yes.
Yeah, they
Wow.
did.
That'll be handy for trivia night
They
if that
deserve-
ever comes
they,
up.
They kind of deserved it. Let's be honest.
Well, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
nothing happened. So if you're saying they deserve nothing,
I'm not exactly saying that.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Canadians only deserve the best. Next up, this is under the "Forget About It" section. These are the worst leftover foods to try and reheat. All right. Number 1 is fried fish. I don't know how often you guys eat that.
yeah.
Number 2 is doughy dumplings. I don't know if you guys eat doughy dumplings very much, but apparently
don't.
they're a nightmare.
Huh.
This list is very specific. Ramen is also really bad to reheat.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
I mean-
Ramen?
I mean, is pasta in
Huh.
general bad to reheat? At least been wondering. And
Yeah, I don't
lastly, anything served with a fried egg. I would add to this list fries. Fries are never good reheated.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
some-
If you're in the
maybe
oven,
in
but if
the
you're
oven,
microwaving
but
fries.
yeah, if
Oh,
you
yeah, if you're
microwave,
microwaving,
it's gonna
Microwaves
get all
just
mushy,
ruin
yeah.
fries.
No way.
That's my problem with leftovers is when you reheat them in the microwave, they all get kind of soft and mushy.
Yeah.
That's why the oven is usually always the move to go.
Mm,
But anyways,
true.
that was nachos and emergencies. No, wait.
Nachos and
Not
Nachos
just
and
in
nukes.
news.
but it was
Jonathan-
leftovers and emergencies.
Jonathan, just a real quick wrap up. What was your favorite bit of information you learned from the emergencies, and what's your favorite from the leftovers? Well, my favorite emergency was the one about Greenland because I think they kind of had it coming.
Oh, jeez, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Billy, what's your favorite leftover
Leftover
tip?
Leftover tip. I don't know. I
The
might.
doughy dumplings.
No. My favorite leftover tip is not to do the doughy dumplings because I was gonna actually do that.
That's
Right when we
exactly-
got
you had all
home.
these doughy dumplings.
Yeah, and now I know I should just throw them out.
Yeah, just feed them to the wolves at Munster High School.
So
Yeah.
before we go, we should run through our listener questions.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yes.
Real quick.
Do you want to take the
We
lead?
kind of have to go speed round, but let's just go ahead and go through them. So the first one comes from William Boyle, and he asks, "Are moth memes dead?" So for people who don't know, the moth memes are essentially all these memes where these moths are being attracted to lamps in kind of funny situations, I guess.
Which is very real, because if you ever had a nightlight in your room while a moth is in there, it's pretty scary.
Oh my
'cause the
goodness,
moth,
it is pretty scary.
Keeps running into your head and getting on you, like, oh no,
Oh,
Dad!
yeah.
So what do you guys think? Are these memes dead? Has it run its
No,
course?
no,
I
I
don't
like these
think
memes.
so.
They're not dead.
I like
I mean,
them,
they're a
yeah.
little played out, but they're not.
They're a
dead,
little
dead.
played out, but they're not dead.
Yeah.
I'd
Unlike
agree.
the moths once they've
Yes.
rammed their head into this light too many times.
Oh,
but
poor moths.
unfortunately. Okay, the next one comes from Joe Henry,
Uh-huh.
and he
Ooh,
asks,
My brother.
what is
Fake name.
Joe
What is the
Henry,
worst
Joe Henry.
thing
Ooh, baby, we need
you
to-
cooked or the worst thing you did when cooking? Doesn't have to be cooking emergencies like a grease fire,
Wait, I can't talk about my grease fire.
but something bad.
Well, clearly this guy knows what he's talking
Well,
about.
we're not allowed to talk about our grease fires. Those.
I actually
Yeah,
recently had a
mine
big.
are all grease fires.
I actually, this is my non-grease fire one. I had a big cooking fail lately where, like, I wanted to make scrambled eggs, but there wasn't any butter, and always I make scrambled eggs with butter at my house. Back in Indy, we're very proud of being from Indy.
Mhm.
But I'm kidding.
Oh,
I am
no,
proud
not
of it.
this
I- anyways, I use oil instead, but I actually used way too much, like, because it was like dark, I
Ooh.
couldn't really see, so I just like pour this whole thing in of like vegetable oil, and then afterwards the scrambled eggs tasted so disgusting. Like they were like lined in oil. I felt like I was like I felt like I was eating like little rocks because it hurt my stomach so bad. I was like, this is such an epic food fail. So I
man.
couldn't finish it all, but I did not leave any for leftovers. Trust me.
Mm.
All right. Well, we don't have much time left, so let's just run through these really quick. Emmett asks, last week you all cast Jack Black to play Clay in your upcoming superhero movie.
They did.
But how would you feel about Fred Armisen?
Oh, playing me?
Yeah,
I do
playing
really
you.
like Fred Armisen. If you,
Do you think he
guys,
would play you well? I don't know.
He
I
doesn't
don't
look
really
like
see
me.
him.
I do aspire to have my humor be like Fred Armisen's because I do think he's really funny.
He is pretty funny.
Can I just tell you real quick somebody who's looked at me, who people say look like me, and you
Who's
can
that?
play
Yeah.
an actor named Ben Platt. I don't know if I see it, but
Ben
multiple
Platt.
people.
Let me.
He's
I don't
a,
even know who that is.
He's a Broadway actor, but multiple people have said I look like
If
him.
you're listening at home, look it up.
I don't know if I see it, but
Tell us what you think.
All right. I mean, I guess I could see a little bit.
it's certain pictures more.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ish.
So this one comes from our boy wonder Sergey, who
Oh,
is,
wow.
as we mentioned before, is unfortunately sick. He
Jack
asks,
Black, please.
What's a good cold one for a sick boy?
Oh, 7-Up is definitely the move.
Or ginger ale.
Yeah.
Or ginger ale.
Yeah,
ginger ale.
non-caffeinated sodas
Gatorade.
in general can be pretty good.
Yes.
Gatorade is
Yes.
definitely good. You gotta
mom-
get your electrolytes up.
My mom always gave me Gatorade and 7-Up whenever I was sick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if it works, but I have this vision in my head that as I drank the 7-Up, like a yellow fluid was filling up my brain and like killing my headache. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so I was like,
wow.
I gotta
Oh,
keep
man.
drinking this. 'Cause I just had this imagery that 7-Up was
Yeah.
like battling the headache in my brain and making me feel way better. So now 7-Up and being sick are like hand in hand. together.
Yeah.
Cough syrup's a good cold one.
Cough syrup.
Doesn't
yeah.
taste good, but it'll get the job done.
Yeah, that's
especially if
true.
you're just in too much pain, you just want to forget about it for a little bit. Just down some coffee.
I'm talking about taking the recommended
And
dose.
we actually really need to get going. So last one real quick. Simone asks, how come I didn't get the presidential alert today? Ooh,
Well,
I think
because
that's
you-
because he blocked you on Twitter. So
Yeah, I mean, he saw your affiliation with Russia, and he was like, I can't risk. Like the Russians got a very different notification that was like, we strike tonight, boys. But they couldn't risk
Oh,
it.
it was just a little prank we pulled.
Yeah,
on
just a
them.
little frank.
Well, thank you everyone for listening tonight to another episode of the Boys Cold 1 Hour.
Yes, thanks so much for
Fortunately,
listening, and
We're
we'll be
almost
back next
running
week.
over to this time, but
Yes.
we're excited to see you guys next week
Yeah,
and have a
thank-
good night.
thank
Yeah,
you for
listen
tuning
to
in.
Goodnight Moon coming up next.
Yes,
It's gonna be really good.
and one last quick thing. A shout out for our next show. It's going to be our 50th episode of the Boys
50th
Cold
episode,
1
can you
Hour
believe it?
ever.
That's
So
crazy.
we're going to make it very special. You don't want to miss it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a good night.
Good night.